Hi guys, my name's Andrew Ogilvie and welcome back to the channel. We are going to be playing a bit of FIFA 21 and it's a career mode that I've been wanting to do for ages. I've been speaking to my friends about it and I finally managed to work out my editing situation. So hopefully you like it. If you could give me some feedback on this episode, it'd be absolutely fantastic. And I will be listening to, reading everything because I'm not fantastic at editing, I'm not the best, but I'll definitely be looking to improve over the course of this series. So let's get into it. The whole point of this series is club and country, we're going to be calling it, and if you're not familiar with that, basically we pick a club who's usually really bad that plays in a certain country, and we can only sign players from that nation, which makes it a wee bit challenging when you pick a team like Hamilton, who we're going to be picking, as I don't think there's many good Scottish players. That's come from, I'm Scottish, so like I can say that in full heart mean it. there's not many talents out there. I know we've got, like, in terms of FIFA, we've got like Andy Robertson, Scott McTominay, Billy Gilmore, players like that, and there's obviously a lot more. I'm just rounding them off the top of my head, and we'll be looking eventually to bring those players in, hopefully. But usually how I start off these career modes is I go straight into my youth system and have a wee look, but some of these guys are actually not too bad, but we're unable to use them due to how we're playing it. We can't use any of them because they're not Scottish, and the financial difficulty we're going to have based on that 2 million is it's going to make it a really interesting setup for us. So we've only got a 1-star. With that 2 million we can't really buy anyone, and that leads us on to who have we got. And anyone that's not Scottish, we're just going to have to sell them. As much as we could really be doing with a good few players here and there. And there's a couple of guys in this squad. I'm not actually too familiar with the Hamilton squad. It's not a team I follow. there's no other nice way to put it. And I'll be looking to bring in a couple of players. There's a couple of players in there that ring a bell. Smith at left mid, I think it is, a right mid. I believe Winter at striker. These two guys are stick in my mind, and there's also a centre half. I'll say it's like Patterson or something like that. He's pretty decent. He's an 18-year-old. If you could pause it back up there, they're the 3 players we're going to be keeping. I'd like to keep them throughout the whole run, and the first thing I usually do is go and sort out my formations, because I didn't want to play 5 at the back realistically, and we're basically just going to switch it so that we've got all Scottish players in the bench and the starting 11, and the rest of the guys can go in the reserves. We're hopefully going to try and sell them in this transfer window and bring in some fresh players, fresh faces, and hopefully some youth players, like, so we can get some development and actually bring this squad up to challenging for the cups and challenging for the league. As it stands, I don't think we're going to get it this season. We'd have to make some massive signings, and we'd have to get offered some silly money for some players that are probably only worth silly money. And we go straight into the first match. It feels a wee bit fast paced. I'll maybe have a wee tinker with my editing. Let me know what you think anyway. I'm trying to cram as much into one episode as possible. I think we're roughly going to be about 11 and a half minutes or so. So I'm getting a feel for it in the first game. Feel for these players, this team, and one thing we're certainly lacking, we're playing a centre half at right back, so that's first on the list, and I wasn't really too sure in diving in and start signing players without selling anyone, so hopefully we can make a couple of sales and then I can bring in the players that I would like, rather than vice versa, like buying players and then possibly not selling anyone and living life with zero budget. Things that we're going to be looking out for are free agents. Especially as low down as we are. I had a wee look just prior to coming into this game, and we had Craig Gordon as we scored our first goal. I'm going to try and commentate over the goals as well, but I've been rambling on as we slip the ball through. I believe that was Callahan to Anderson, and Anderson and Callahan seem to be a good wee pairing for me anyway. When I was playing in this game, they both know exactly what they play, the style of football that I would like to play, which is Anderson making a run while Callahan drops deep and then slips the ball to them as we move into the next highlight. And it's picking the ball up. You'll tend to find this with me playing FIFA. I pick the ball up deep and then it's getting forward as fast as possible. And the only problem I'm having right now is the players are slow. I've set out a youth scout to find us some fast players. As Callahan chests and then headers by the keeper. That was some ball in. And for him to do that, that's a Ronaldinho-esque finish. from a 60, I don't know what he is, 61, 62 rated player. Absolutely fantastic. So he's probably one to keep in the squad for the foreseeable future anyway, the next couple of seasons, or possibly even just this season if we can do well and bring in some good transfers in. Speaking of transfers, we've got quite a few players in mind. Being a Rangers fan, I've got Patterson and King are the two that I'd like to bring in, and on the Celtic end, which I'm not one of those players, I'm not biased, that when they miss out on some good players, I would eventually like to get Turnbull because he's got some good potential, as well as is it Robertson, CDM Robertson. As we come down the left, we slip the ball in with a finesse shot, and that was such an easy tap in for anyone. And I can't remember if it was Callahan that missed that with the slide. I don't know why he slid. He could have just walked to the side as Callahan gets the ball, and I try a finesse shot from inside the box. He manages just to put it wide, which isn't too bad, but we seem to be okay going forwards. It's just the defence is a wee bit shaky. As you can see, the tacklings, they've just not got any tackling as they slip the ball forwards. The keeper collects that one, not too bad. As I go to distribute fast, I get caught out. But luckily enough for me, the flag goes up and the goal's ruled out. He is offside, as you can see. It doesn't really show you a good replay, so I end up skipping it anyway. But he was offside when the ball came back to him. And we move into the next highlight. In this game, I struggle against Legendary, especially when I first start in FIFA, a career mode. I always struggle against Legendary with not being able to clear my lines. And this corner, like, this is just typical gameplay for me. When a ball comes in for a corner, I just can't get rid of it. I'm putting tackles in left, right and centre, and I'm losing the ball, and I'm picking it back up, and then I'm losing it, and they just pass the ball about, and I end up giving away a foul on the edge of my box because I'm just getting a wee bit frustrated. Although the highlights haven't shown it, they were doing that the whole game. And it's just one thing I'm going to have to be wary of, is try not to lose my head, because I do every so often. The tackles start flying in, which I think makes it interesting when you've got a couple of players on a yellow card and you're trying to hold on to a lead as the free kick comes in. I felt like throwing that in there because it was a highlight. Was another attempt on goal, but that finished it up for the first half, and that moved us on to the second half. And this, like I was saying, it's something I struggle is actually winning the ball, especially with this squad. They don't seem to have the tackling stats where I need them to be. As my defender steps out and I'm trying to run back, I've just not got any pace back there, guys. And you can see they're pulling tackles left, right and centre. And I'm not even too sure how they do that. And this is again trying to clear my lines, unable to clear them, as they make a wee bit of fantastic play, in my opinion, knocking the ball about and finding the angle. As you can see, like the right back gets drawn in. He's a centre half. I can't really complain. He's not meant to play there. So he gets drawn in, and Jonathan Ring slips it in past the keeper at the near post. And to be fair, I probably should have asked more from my keeper. It's not a hard save in my opinion. But then again, I think the keeper's only 61 rated. What do I expect? As I go straight for the press, I usually run forwards and lose the ball straight away for kick-off. And this was one of these occasions where I did, and a few minutes had passed. We cleared our lines from a bicycle kick, which I felt like had to be a highlight. That guy's probably in his late 30s and he's doing a bicycle kick. I don't know, I can't remember who it was that done it. As we break up the line with Martin, a wee ball roll. I absolutely love my skill moves. There's a time and a place for them, and I'm always never picking them right. But that time seemed to be perfect as we slipped the ball wide to Smith. Smith managed to keep his composure and slip it past the keeper, and I can't really complain at that. Like I said, I think he was one I mentioned as a long-term stayer of the club. I think he'll be a good player to keep training and bringing up through the ratings essentially, and hopefully we can bring some good players to surround him. But he managed to keep his composure. I wasn't really expecting too much from him in that situation. I thought maybe he'll end up playing it wide or hit the keeper. Like, I really wasn't expecting it, so it was a big surprise to get that goal. And that put us 3-1 up. And we were breezing it. I thought we were doing pretty well. Apart from our shaky defence and our goalkeeper's distribution, we were doing not too bad in this game. As we go for kick-off, I'm pushing players up the park. I'm trying to do my high press style. And all our guys, like you can see them in their half, they're just not bothered on doing the high press with me, even though the tactics are set. And they managed to work a wee bit of space, and we start pulling players out because I'm pressuring. And a good wee bit of play. The centre mid doesn't fall back, and as I go to put the tackle in, the guy slips it in the bottom corner. And I believe at 3-2, this was when it started to get a wee bit shaky for me. I don't mind being 2 goals in the lead, but 1 goal in the lead, especially against a legendary, when my team isn't that good, I start to get a wee bit shaky. So you can see it there, just no one dropping back, and then he slips it past the keeper. I believe that was, is it Ericsson or something like that? I can't really remember his name off the top of my head. I've not even wrote it down. Usually I would keep a wee sheet where I keep some notes down, key notes. But his name will flash up in a minute. But I started panicking, and I went straight into the substitutions. Eric. I knew his name was Eric. I thought it was Ericsson was his second name, but it was just wee Eric. Wee Eric scored a cracking goal. Unlucky, we can't sign him, and they make a sub. So that's me. Like I was saying, I was a wee bit shaky. I decided we were going to throw some subs on and get Winter some game time. Winter's one I'd like to sort of bring through a wee bit. He's got a wee bit of pace, 77 pace up top, which isn't a lot. But in this squad, it's actually quite a lot, considering our right back's got, what do we have there, like 53 pace. So we've switched him out, gave someone with fresh legs out, and I usually like to try and make as many subs as possible, free up some fitness for the next game, because we're gonna be struggling with this squad. They're not really got good stamina. I don't think we're gonna have congested fixtures, but hopefully we don't. And those were the subs, and then there was nothing really to note for the rest of the game that I have noted down. I pretty much just cut straight to the final whistle. It was pretty eventful. I made some more subs and that was it. But if you like this episode, if you want to give us a wee like and subscribe, like I said, throw in the comments what you think, give me some suggestions, give me some tips, it'd be fantastic. And I will read them, and I will give these probably a reply if I think they're absolutely fantastic and something I can use. So in the next episode, I'll hopefully get some more games in. Well, we will. I'll be looking to aim about 3 games per episode. So if you liked it, like, subscribe, like, follow if it's Facebook you're watching us through, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!